early morning at Fishriver Point, about 5 kilometers south of Mpokweni Beach Resort, and we're here targeting one of those big raggies. The spot is renowned for the bigger raggies. Not an easy spot to land them though, with the rocks. As a raggie, I mean, most people know raggies don't swim out the way you want them to. They always hang around close to the rocks, so it's very difficult to take it to the beach, and it's quite a long walk. And joining us this morning is Nigel Lowe from the Eastern Cape side, one of our Dawa ambassadors. And of course Carolien's going to have a shot at getting a raggie. Not the ideal spot for her off the rocks here, but we'll see how it goes. So we've taken out the heavy leaders. I'm using a Poseidon Heavy with Saltiga Hyper 0.55, a tapered leader going to 1.5 mil. And I'll put the same one for Carolien. She's fishing a lighter rod with a Saltiga. She's fishing a Poseidon Medium. And Nigel's testing the new Saltiga rods with a lever drag. Very, very nice setup. I'm actually quite excited about the Saltiga range of rods. Very, very good looking rods. You'll see now.
This is a beautiful area. I've never been in this area before. Or actually fished this area before. So yes, I'm going to give our best shot today to get a raggie, and if I don't make it, you guys can come and visit me in the hospital.
Right, like Andre said, I'm busy using a new setup today. It's new for me, testing the Dawa Saltiga, the lever drag, and I've got the new Saltiga heavy rod. Very nice looking rod. We did some casting with it yesterday, testing it out. Throws very nicely, nice action. And I'm going to put a slide out here this morning, and hopefully we can get one of those monster raggies, ragged-tooth sharks here at Fishriver Point. So let's go put a bait in the water and see if we can get one.
Now we're going to slide this morning. It just makes it a bit easier. You can use heavier tackle, bigger baits, all of that, looking for that big raggie. And when you're sliding from your ring to your sinker, you obviously use a much thinner leader, and what I do is I put a knot in it. If it gets stuck, most of the time when you're hooking a big raggie, its teeth cuts the sinker off half the time. But just to be safe, you put a knot in this. If it gets stuck, that's a weak spot in your line, and it will break there.
After seeing the size of these mackerel, I decided to change my mind. I'd rather stick with the mackerel instead of the bonito. So I'm quickly going to put it in the water to defrost a bit and get it out there.
This is horse mackerel, the bigger mackerel, and we want a nice big bait for raggies. And I prefer a soft bait for raggies purely because of those teeth. Now the interesting thing about a ragged-toothed shark is it can sometimes hold onto the bait, and you fight it to the side here and it just opens its mouth and spits your bait out. And that's because of all those jagged teeth in its jaws. It can hold on to anything. To set the hook sometimes can be very challenging. So I prefer a soft bait, taking the bone out and forming two little flaps here. You must be careful with frozen bait. It's easy to slip and cut yourself. This is definitely one of the best spots in South Africa to look for raggies, is on the border coastline. Right here, well, from PE, but this whole border area has got a lot of ragged-toothed sharks, from small ones to very big ones here at Fishriver Point. It's known here for the bigger ones. And Carolien opted for a mackerel. I still like opening the gills up. The Saltiga Hyper is specifically designed for South Africa, and that's the nice thing about Dawa and some other brands as well, that actually takes us in account the way we fish. The rock and surf guys here, it is quite, well, there's not many people in the world that fish that way, but this reel was specifically designed for South African rock and surf anglers. It's got a lot of torque in the drag in the reel as well. It's the right gear ratio for what we use here.
First bite for the morning.
Yeah.
This is the one thing I was looking forward to. quite difficult because I don't have the right rock shoes on. Kentucky's on these rocks are really slippery. So guess what I'm going to do tonight? I'm going to head back and go buy me a pair of gum boots. Every time I try and gain some line, get a couple of meters back and then it just goes again. Takes it all back to the side. It's fine, I'm up for the tussle.
Okay, we've given Carolien the medium Poseidon just to ease up on the back. It's not as strenuous on your back. Pulling a fish on it. It's got a lot more bend obviously than a heavy. But not the ideal rod off the rocks. But for smaller people like Carolien, the medium is probably a better rod.
So
What's your biggest fish you've ever caught?
60 kilo.
From the side, yeah. 52 kilos. Totally misformed on the nose here. Don't know what happened. Might have been bitten off when it was younger. But a short stumpy nose like a Zambezi or a tiger. See, when you push the jaw out here with my right hand, that's what it actually looks like before it eats. Vicious, vicious teeth, but harmless to human beings. Completely harmless.
I feel honored. I haven't caught one of those before and this is my biggest fish so far. And another addition to the species list, so yeah, I'm stoked.
Okay, that brings us to the end of this week's insert. We came here looking for a raggy for Carolien. And job well done. Well done, Carolien. And
Thank
it's
you
all
very much.
smiles. I'm sure you guys can see that. And thanks, Nigel, for bringing us here. Or Nigel, sorry. Well done.